Madhurima Lall, Department of Applied Economics, University of Lucknow. In this series of my lectures, we will be talking about entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs and enterprises. Now before proceeding with my lectures, it is very important to know that who all should attend my classes. My classes in a crux should be attended by all those who wanted to be successful in life. But at the same time, it has a main objective. Basically, it has got an academic input. It is made for my students and on applied economics. But along with that, all those who are pursuing management courses, maybe in Indian universities or overseas, abroad, maybe in any corporate sector or banking sector or from any stream. Suppose you are running a hospital, even then you need entrepreneurship to run your organization. So all those who are having their organization do require the entrepreneurship skill. So everyone will be benefited by my classes. Anything which is academic should be practical, and that is what applied economics is all about. So these academic classes, how they can be of practical use in entrepreneurship is the second slot of those sections who should attend these classes. That is the budding aspirants, that is my students who are just graduating and they are going to just meet out this world. And if they propose to be an entrepreneur, they will be benefited. Those who are already an entrepreneur and those who wanted to have more and more success in their life as an entrepreneur, they could be benefited because I will be telling you different ways of increasing your returns of running if you are running an enterprise. Then those who are just thinking of becoming an entrepreneur, and even those who have not even thought of becoming an entrepreneur. Because unless and until you know what entrepreneurship is, how would you see that you are eligible for that or not? Entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs do not have any age bar. So if any age group, maybe you are aspiring or maybe you are playing in your second innings, everybody can become an entrepreneur. So what are the opportunities? How the ideas can be generated? How you can become a successful initiator? There, if you want to know, you can be benefited from these classes. Talking on the professional side, if you want to have an incubation center, you want to have startups, various students so far have started their startups and I am so glad they are being very successful in their startups and now they are very prominent entrepreneurs as well. So if you want to start a new business, if you want to have enterprises or new ventures, this is the place you can come and learn. At the same time, whenever we are talking about any professionalism or any new ideas, nothing can be sensible unless and until it is supplemented by some case studies. So in my lectures, I will be taking you to real job areas, the industrial sector, where you can meet various top entrepreneurs and you can learn from them. Now there is a sense that entrepreneurship is necessarily requires financial backup. If you don't have money, no entrepreneurship. Now this is a myth. All big time entrepreneurs, mostly all of them, started with a very humble starting. And now they are on the top of the world. That means that you can have your enterprise without even having a huge well supported financially. So with little amount of finances or virtually no amount of finances, how you can start your enterprise, how you can be a successful entrepreneur, those sections can also be benefited with my classes. And I would like to also give information that the government sector, maybe the financial banks, the financial sector, and there are NGOs and various agencies who are coming up and supporting the banking system and supporting new ventures. So what are all those and how you can be benefited from those schemes, those support, that will also be discussed. So that is to say, a layman who stands nowhere and want to be a successful person in his life can be benefited from my lecture if you can follow, understand in its real and true sense. So it is meant for basically all those who wanted to be successful, and for that there are some of my reference I would suggest as my book on entrepreneurship, personal growth and training and development. There are decision-making skills because entrepreneurs are nothing, they are not able to take decisions. So, and human resource management, and there are various books which are available. If you want for your reference reading, you can go for them. At this place, just by the way, I'm happy to say that former President Dr. Abdul Kalam Saab has released his book on entrepreneurship and my personality development, training and development as well. And for those two books, I was awarded the prestigious ISTD award. So with this, now let us begin as to what do you understand by entrepreneur? Who is an entrepreneur? Well, entrepreneur is a person who takes up risk to start a new venture or a new business or a new enterprise with a basic motive to earn profit. Actually, the word entrepreneur was derived from a French word that is entreprendre in 17th century, and the other word was German, and that was Unternehmer. Both of the word means undertaking, undertaker. That means a person who undertakes risk, a person who undertakes to open up a new venture. But now, gone are those days. With more and more of complexities, with more and more of competition, the word entrepreneur is becoming more and more demanding. Now, sometimes I think entrepreneur means miracle. Why do I say that entrepreneur is a miracle? Once you understand who is an entrepreneur, you will agree with me that of course entrepreneur is a miracle. Well, it is a fact that entrepreneur means a person who can take up risk. But at the same time, an entrepreneur necessarily must be a decision maker. That means he must be having all those decision making skills which is essential at every point of time of his working. And decision making that he is doing is under the condition of certainty, under the condition of uncertainty, and under the condition of risk. That is, he has to take decisions when all the informations are available to him. And in certain times, he has to take decisions when no information is at all available to him. A common man may escape from these situations, but an entrepreneur who has to run his organization has to take decisions in those conditions as well when there is no option, there is no information available for him, and even then he takes a decision and he takes his enterprising to forward. Go forward. And this is itself a miraculous deed that entrepreneurs have been very casually doing every day. Now, taking up a decision will automatically indicate that entrepreneur has to be a rational person. Now, his rationality is depending on the information, and the information is not totally available to him. That is, his rationality is limited rationality because it is based on limited information. Therefore, the rationality with which an entrepreneur is operating is a bounded rationality. The Nobel Prize winner in 1978, Herbert Simon, gave us two very interesting words. One is bounded rationality and the other one was satisficing, C-I-N-G. In decision making, the corporate world, in decision making, one has to take decisions with bounded rationality, and that whatever you are thinking, they must at least meet the minimum requirement of your expectation, of your vision. They must satisfy as what you are aiming. Now these two words, if you understand them, then half of the decision making work is done. So for that we are taking up a separate, we refer to my separate lecture. But here this much is sufficient that you should know that bounded rationality and satisficing, these two elements are very important for being an entrepreneur. And essential part for being an entrepreneur. And you can do all these things. You can have your rationality done, your rationality done, only when these options, from there, unlimited options, you have to choose as per your requirement. When these options are available, and availability is more important thing is the feasibility of those options. Now we were started with risk-taking of one quality of entrepreneurship, but now we are seeing that he is a good decision maker, he is a rational person, he must be looking into the bounded rationality things, he has to see the various available sources from which he should select, be able to select the best of all those options which is available to him, and then the availability side and the feasibility side. So many factors. If it makes, he is something which is miraculous. But kahani abhi bahut baki hai. More and more is expected from him. That is, in this competitive time, no entrepreneur can exist unless and until he has innovation and creativity. Innovation would mean to create something new, and creativity will be whatever is available. By making certain little choice, he could create something different. Maybe not entirely new, but it looks like new. So the creativity element is so important. Without that, you will not be able to proceed. So creation is something which makes now an entrepreneur an entrepreneur, and which is an essential part of any entrepreneur who wanted to exist in this competitive world.
Everywhere I go, across America and around the world, I hear from people, especially young people, who are ready to start something of their own, to lift up people's lives and shape their own destinies. That's entrepreneurship, that spark of prosperity that creates new jobs and new businesses, new ways to deliver basic services, and new ways of seeing the world. That's why, since 2010, the Global Entrepreneurship Summit has brought together the best innovators, thinkers, social entrepreneurs, and investors to a different region of the world, from the United States to sub-Saharan Africa. And I've seen firsthand what a difference it can make for entrepreneurs, especially for women and people from marginalized communities, to connect with each other and get feedback on their ideas, to build the networks that can help turn their dream for a business or program or app into reality.
Now, you must have heard of a SWOT analysis. A common man would like to see the strength, the weakness, and the threats, but only and only a visionary, a dynamic person that is called entrepreneur will always be keeping his eye on the opportunities, whatever is going around, whatever the people are demanding. Just find out the opportunity and then creation of his own idea, generation of his own idea, he would put that idea into really the workforce, because only entrepreneur can make all the theoretical thinking, all the theoretical expectation, decision into a workable. He is the only person who can produce the product which any common consumer is demanding. It's very fast. I mean, the entrepreneurs will always be working and running along with competition. But at the end of the day, they will find the consumer, they are so demanding, they have reached 10 times ahead of your expectation. So again, the entrepreneur will have to go and then to meet those demands, and then again the expectations are much more. And this process is very well maintained and carried out by entrepreneur, and this is the charm of entrepreneur that he has got. So the entrepreneur, besides having all those elements that we were just discussing, we see that he has got a great vision, he is a visionary, he has got a great idea generation power, he should take decision when no information is there, and that an entrepreneur is something who does something unimaginable, who does something which is very important for the society, because it is entrepreneurs who are producing well. In a way, they are creating jobs, they are making additions to the nation, and therefore they are doing a hell lot of things. And how you can do that? One simple answer: just keep a track of your classes.
Often I have been asked or been told that, you're probably one of the richest in India and things. But I think both Mukesh and myself feel that money nor wealth is an end to itself. It's how you use your wealth that is more important. And I tell Mukesh all the time that life is not about making money or making wealth. Life is actually about making memories, because that's all that you leave behind.
And when I say finding of opportunity, I tell you that the top industrialists, those who have really excelled in the field of entrepreneurship, they have been doing this. Just listen to Ratan Tata.
And the greatest pleasure I've had is trying to do something that everybody says could not be done. I'll just share perhaps a moment in time which I will always cherish. I decided that India could produce its own car.
So now you understand who is an entrepreneur. And it seems that is it possible to take up entrepreneurship? Yes, it is the simplest thing on this earth to do. With or without finances. Anybody can take it up. There are several things that an entrepreneur needs to know about. Let us discuss a few of them, which, as per my thought, is very important for each and every entrepreneur. First of all, always remember that if you are trying to become an entrepreneur is a person who can never ever work in isolation. You would definitely require people, persons, and you must have the capability to pick up the right one, to pick up the best one. You need to have people with you whom you can trust upon.
My best business decisions really have to do with picking people. Deciding to go into partnership with Paul Allen is probably at the top of the list. And then subsequently hiring a friend, Steve Ballmer. And having somebody who you totally trust, who's totally committed, who shares your vision and yet has a little bit different set of skills, and also acts as a check on you. Some of the ideas you come up with, you run by them because they're going to say, hey, wait a minute, have you thought about this and that? And just, the benefit of sparking off of somebody who's got that kind of brilliance, it's not only made it fun, but it's really led to a lot of success. So picking a partner is crucial.
So picking up the right person, that is your caliber. You see, and you cannot be having expertise in every field, but your enterprise at any point of time or every section of the activity needs expertise. So what will you do? You need people who will be supplementing you for those activities. So you need to hire a person who is more meritorious than you, because you are paying him. So naturally, you must get him. The person who is in real sense really meritorious is difficult to find, and it is more difficult to set them together and then let them work together. There is your capability to keep them. The very successful young entrepreneur, whom I am always very fascinated to see his success, is one of the CEO and chairman of Alibaba, Jack Ma. He used to say that he does not know one single word of management, but what he does is he hires those people who are well punctuous, and he tells that it is very difficult to keep them together. It is very easy to work with stupid people. They always will be very easily working together. But those who are meritorious, who are really great in working, you need to keep them using your best of your capabilities. And if they are with you, then they will be taking you to a much higher vision that you can see.
I was the first. I know nothing about technology. I know nothing about management. I know nothing about. But the only thing is that you don't have to know a lot of things. You have to find the people who are smarter than you are. For so many years, I always try to find the people who are smarter than I am. And when you find so many smart people, my job is to make sure the smart people can work it together. And then if smart people can work it together, it's easier. The vision will believe. Because if stupid people can work it together easily, smart people can never work together.
So keeping them and they in their field, they will be so excellent that their presence will be felt and their absence will be felt more. So you keep them, you find them, you pick them, and you make them work for you. It is the best and the most effective thing for an entrepreneur to do. See, if you have one solid person with you, कोई भी महाभारत 100 कौरवों से नहीं जीतता इंसान, उसको सिर्फ एक कृष्ण चाहिए. So you need to find out that Krishna for you. If you start having your associations, if you start taking up less meritorious persons just because of your preferences, you are losing on that. Never let excellent people go from you. Find them out, get them for the enterprise, and I assure you, the half of the journey is done. Even Bill Gates says that he's watching for the right person and he will never let him go away. Barack Obama, the president of America, he says it is most important to find out the right person, and that he does. So when these top people were depending on right people because they have to run a country, they have to run an organization. So if you are going to start, always remember, you cannot be alone. You have to find people. Why not find out the best people, the meritorious people? And finding the meritorious people, that is why you are going to take up entrepreneurship. That's not impossible because you are the person who is going to say that I am going to make it possible. So you need to find out the right person. The second thing that you need to do is, you always have to fix up your goal. Without an objective, there's no management. Without objective, there's nothing which is associated with entrepreneurship or management or anything. You need to find a plan, you need to do organization, you need to do coordination, you need to do control. You must have your objective fixed. And if you have your objective, get it done.
I'm willing to sacrifice my sleep, I'm willing to sacrifice food, I'm willing to sacrifice quality of life, if that's what you want to call it, and to be able to achieve, to be an achiever. Because to be an achiever, you have to let go of some things.
Because anything on this earth is possible, it's only that your vision and your work should be right. Mukesh Ambani says that you need to follow or to find out what the actual problem is. It is more difficult to find out the actual problem than to solve it.
The second piece that I think I learned is that as an entrepreneur, right, it's very important to find a problem that you want to solve, that you are passionate about. Right? There is no, and this is the same thing that, in fact, Professor Sharma at UDCG, I was blessed to have him. He'd always say that I am not going to give you a list of problems and then you can go and work on anything. You find a problem and then I will grade you on the quality of the problem that you find, and then I'll grade you on the quality of solution that you actually do. So the same rules apply for an entrepreneur, that it's not solving problems, it's first finding problems. Once you find the problem, right, then you solve it.
In my research, in my projects which I have been doing for major research projects which were granted by University Grants Commission, and I have been going around looking after various enterprises and talking to various people, and mostly since my work was on steel industries, I could see that most of the industries were simply sick because they could not make it out what was the real problem. They were working on some other problem. So whenever there is a deviation from the objective, just try to find out which one is the main problem, which you are not able to fulfill, and then those problems will be fine. Any, as I said, any problem on this earth is being solved. Then take, whenever there are misery, whenever there are failures, failure should be taken as the normal course in your life.
Failures are normal, right? With all the success that one sees, people, even in my own case, don't see how many times I have failed before I succeed. So they are just a step before you succeed. So never get disheartened by failures. Learn from them, but never give up.
If you don't enjoy your success, but you must always enjoy your failures. Because failures are the things which are going to take you on a higher level. This is what is called optimism. So always be optimistic. And one thing, I was so motivated when I heard Donald Trump say, never ever give up.
Never, ever give up. Just keep going forward. Never stop. It may seem like you have no chance. It may seem like it's over. Never, ever quit. If you're a quitter, I hope you quit right now and stop watching immediately because you'll never make it.
If you have the tendency of giving up, not even thinking of going ahead, then you better do not initiate. But if you have the charm and the vigor to say that how you are going to do it, just be in yourself. This is your life. This is be yourself. Be the best of your life and be very practical and be very successful. Never ever give up. You have to be successful, and the best way that is the success is defined was from our former president, Dr. Abdul Kalam.
Sir, how did you become so great?
How did I become so great? That's a question. Well, which class you are studying?
4th.
What's your dream in life?
I want to become a singer.
Singer. Hindustani or Carnatic? Hindustani or Carnatic music? Any music?
Yeah, music.
Any music. Well, I don't know how I don't know. These are relative terms. So I personally believe you must have a dream. Say, I must have a dream.
I must have a dream.
I must continuously acquire knowledge.
I must continuously acquire knowledge.
Hard work.
Hard work.
And perseverance.
And pursuance.
One should not be not afraid of problems.
Not afraid of problems.
Then you will be successful. Okay?
Success means that you must have a dream, that you must work very hard, you must have a continuous working passion for the things, you must know how to achieve that, and you must have knowledge for that, and the overall that you should not be afraid of miseries. You should just overlook the negative people around you, because whenever you are rising high, automatically those negative people will be coming to you, will be pulling your legs down. Just go away with them. If that is there, if you see some negativity is now turning up, that means you are on the higher side. Just avoid them, and you need to go forward, and that is success.
And finally, an entrepreneur is always positive. He's an optimist, and he proves, there are lots of cynics, lots of negative people around, but an entrepreneur spreads positive energy. That's really what I have learned.
And in the last, you will be thinking that any business would be impacted. So how would you brand? My simple suggestion is you be the brand. And the simplest formula to be a brand is honesty and excellence. Honesty, never forget honesty. Now business and ethics and honesty, all these things together. You need to see my classes, how you are going to do that without leaving honesty. But by heart, you have to be honest. That is the minimum credential that one human being must have. And by that side, you must be having excellence in your job. This is the time to learn, develop skill, develop to the best of your level. So much so that when you are there, your presence is there, and when you are not there, वो बात तो नहीं रही. Let the people feel that. So your excellence plus your honesty will combinedly make a brand, and you be a brand of yourself. These are just a few points. There's many more for which you need to continue and to continue to attend the classes. So now, entrepreneurship seems to be difficult initially, but it is the easiest thing on this earth to do. That is, you must have a very clear vision and a very firm determination within you. My mom used to tell me, which I always used to tell my students, खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर लिखने से पहले खुदा बनने से खुद पूछिए, बता तेरी रज़ा क्या है. So now that was enough for today. I am sure that you must have learned that who is an entrepreneur and how you should become an entrepreneur, how you can initiate that thought within you, and how big tycoons used to have initiated in thinking. So if you want to convert your ideas into reality, if you want to see that how you can take decisions when no information is at all available, if you want to be successful in life, if you have no money or you have a limited amount of money, even then you want to launch an enterprise and you want to be successful in life, to be a big tycoon, and out of all the adversities, you want to go ahead in your life. That is to say, you want to have an enterprise, you want to serve the nation, you want to contribute to the nation by creating jobs, by creating wealth. There is one way out. You simply need to attend my classes. Till then, you attend my next class. Till then, goodbye and take care.